First, you guys know that we're intimately in, we're working hard with the Dunk on Cancer program. Mm-hmm. So Greg, I have a gift for you.
Oh, no.
You open that.
Ooh.
So these just dropped at the BYU store. Our partners, they're doing an unbelievable job. And just in case you don't know, Dunk on Cancer is Leanne Pope's organization. Is Leanne over there?
She's right here.
She is. Oh, you're behind the camera today. So is working hand in hand with the Simmons Center for Cancer Research that is doing groundbreaking work. It's incredible, actually, the progress they're making. And so we've done socks, we did hats, and now, like, probably what is going to cure cancer all on its own is the official Dunk on Cancer. Can we call it a Stanley, babe, or is it a knockoff? Oh.
Yeah. It's Stanley-esque. Yeah.
So what happens? Do we get copyright issues if we say it's a... Okay. Regardless,
we're trying to avoid getting into trouble, but it's bound to happen. Yeah, look at this. We've got dual. We got the BYU basketball logo. We have the Dunk on Cancer. And is this legit for me?
Yes, it is. Oh, wow. It's a gift for you. It's actually for your beautiful wife.
Either my wife or daughter will have it by the end of the night. But yes, it is great. Comes with a straw, and so we've gone ball cap, we've gone socks. We now have a mug.
Yep. And if you go to BYU bookstore, they're in a corner of the bookstore, and every single cent that you spend on this beyond cost goes to the Simmons Center for Cancer Research, which is just becomes more near and dear to all of our hearts as we have ourselves and family and friends that are fighting this disease. And so if you're looking at buying a quote knockoff Stanley Cup that's way swaggier than any Stanley Cup you could buy, please head over and do that. We're super grateful for everybody's support. It's awesome.
Is there more to come after we've done? Yes? A sweatshirt is still to come, I guess.
Sweatshirt's the last thing, yes.
Okay.
And I have 2 Stanley Cups for audience members.
And you want to go... You want to go feats of strength for those, I think.
I have no plan, actually, how to decide who's going to get them, so we'll just play it by ear.
By the end of the show, somebody will have these.
And am I allowed to talk about how much am I allowed to elaborate on your incredible work on cancer this year? Can I? Leanne and her team, the whole board, and incredibly generous donors, all working through the Simmons Center, this year alone have raised over $1 million towards cancer research. It's very cool. It's awesome. And Hema, do we have our picture?
Oh yeah, we do. We ran through it. Yeah, we saw it in rehearsal. So we'll bring it up on the big screen. Here we go.
Okay, so just yesterday, this is the Swanson family, Jared and Sarah, and Parker and Charlie. They came to shoot around before the game on Tuesday, I guess. And we got to meet them, and they are diehard BYU believers in everything about BYU. And it was super special to have them. And it was actually even more special because yesterday, Jared checked into the hospital. He'll be there for the next several months, fighting a really, really severe form of cancer. So our prayers go out to them. And while I have a captive audience, I'm wondering, we're all touched by this disease. And sometimes I think it's really powerful to speak names. And I don't know if anybody wants to give a shout out to somebody that's fighting right now. Does anybody want to do that? Yes.
Barbara Pappenfuss.
Barbara Pappenfuss, yep. Jill Langston. Zach, Jenny.
Darcy Facer.
Darcy Facer. Great, in the back.
My mom.
Your mom.
Danielle Cantrell.
Danielle Cantrell.
Sherry Hislop.
Say it one more time.
Sherry Hislop.
Sherry, yes.
Vincent Chung.
Vincent Chung. And the. Say it again. Jenny Ingeman. And I know there's so many more guys. But like I said, I'm grateful for everybody's support in this battle. It's clearly near and dear to our hearts, and we're making progress. I had the unbelievable, Coach Rose is my mentor and dear, dear friend, and he was at the game the other night. and had a chance to speak with him, and you know, he continues to make great progress in his health, but it just is, we're all in this together. Like, this is a fight that unites us all, that we're all touched by, and we're all in it together. So thank you guys for being here and sharing that, and please, huge believer in prayer, and so Jared and Sarah and the Swenson family and all the people that named, if you have a second to just include them in your prayers, be super grateful for that. So well, there we go.
Thank you.
I got more.
I know we got more. In fact, I'm looking at this crowd out here tonight, and I'm reminded of a group of a similar size in a similar type venue. Yeah. We were in Lubbock last Friday night.
Yes.
And you know, the basketball team will have a little practice in the gym night before the game, and you weren't alone.
Yes.
In Lubbock last Friday night.
It's so fun, guys. It wasn't fun. The very end of the game wasn't fun. The first 30 minutes were awesome. And it's so fun to go to these new venues because we get to reach out to BYU Faithful all over the country. And so, do we have that picture, Emma?
Yeah.
So the night before the game, we always get in late that evening, and then we'll go into the gym, and we're starting to invite people. And it is awesome. Like, it is really, really fantastic. And just knowing how all around the country, BYU Faithful is everywhere, and it's pretty great, man. The best thing about BYU athletics, our little tiny slice of this, is that we get to connect people, and we love it. So that's number 2, and number 3 is I got a story. Okay, but like, we've been very serious, and I'm gonna get a little lighter. So we are playing against Texas on Saturday, and one of the leading scorer in the country right now, one of the all-time leading scorers in the history of college basketball, is Max Abmas, okay? But his name is spelled Abmas. Mm-hmm. And so for the longest time, I've been saying Abmas because you just read it on paper and it's Abmas. And that's a little look into the cultural differences that we have to understand. Anybody live or serve a mission in Germany? So you might know that there's 26 letters in the German alphabet, and there's 4 extra letters, and one is like a capital B that actually, I guess, sounds like an S, and I didn't know any of this till this morning. With my crack, we scout everything, guys. So Nate Austin brought this information to us, and he's like, nope, it's Abmas because it's actually this letter.
Yeah.
And so then, later in the day, I heard an incredible story about Fus Traore. So Fus is from Bamako, well, from Kati, Mali. And he hasn't been in the States for that long. And this, you can imagine, like, going from where he lives, which, you know, could not be, like, you might as well be on the moon, like, compared to being here in the States. And so it's been a big deal for him to learn the culture here. And so just this fall, he went to the mall. It was getting cold, and he's like, I gotta get a jacket. And he found this black jacket that was fitted. You know, Fus is a big, strong, incredibly handsome young man. And he found this jacket, and it was black, and it was kind of fitted, and the collar was kind of up, and it had a logo on the back that he didn't really know what it was. And he got it. And the next day, he walked around campus all day, and he was like, man, everybody was like checking me out and doing double takes and the whole thing on BYU's campus. Now, mind you, Fus, if there was ever an advocate of the BYU standards and the BYU honor code, it is Fus Traore. Like, to a T, he's a believer. Like, he follows it to a T. But sometimes the cultural difference gets you. And I don't know if we're allowed to show this video. Did Hema get clearance?
Apparently, we did not get clearance for this.
Okay, we're not allowed to show the video. So I'm just going to leave it to your own imagination what the logo was on the back of the jacket. But people were not looking at him because they thought he looked great in the jacket. They were like, are you allowed to wear that on BYU's campus? So we spent about 15 minutes crying in the locker room as this story was shared today. It was beautiful.
That's great.
And that's our guys. That's our life.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
It's a good thing we didn't show the video. I'd probably get fired.
But by the way, if I don't do any talking on the show, I don't get paid. So I got to pick it up at some point here tonight. It's funny. By the way, Max Abmas, second time you're playing him, facing him.
Yes.
Your first year when he was playing for Oral Roberts.
Yes.
You got him when he was just a young pup. And now, all these years later, he's approaching 3,000 career points.
Yeah.
Literally, in the history of men's college basketball Division I level, 2 players have hit 3,000. Pete Maravich and Hersey Hawkins. That is it.
Yep.
And he's going to be there in a few games.
It's incredible.
We hope he doesn't get there Saturday.
Amen.
That'd be a problem because he's quite away. He's like 90 points away.
So call him Asmus, because if we call him Abmas, he's probably going to be mad and take it
And
to
really,
us.
I've seen some games this year, and some broadcasters still do just call it Yeah, Asmus is the word. All right. Wow. We are 1/3 of the way through the Big 12 schedule already. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Yes, you can, because you've had to prep 6 hard times for these games. It already feels like you're longer in. Your thoughts on this league? You knew what it would be. I think it's everything you knew it would be, right?
Guys, there's been moments in every game. I think about moments in Central Florida, which we won, moments at Texas Tech, which we lost, moments at Iowa State, which we won, moments in Houston, which we lost, where I can't help myself. Guys, just Houston, which we ended up losing. You know, there's, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 minutes left, and the Marriott Center, like, it seemed like 18,000 people were on their feet, like, just going crazy, and our guys are battling, like, with their whole hearts and souls, as well as Houston. And the fact that that happens every single night is brilliant to me. I love every second of it. And you know, we're going to love it even more when we're winning more consistently, but I hope you guys are enjoying it too, because we're really blessed to be here. This is awesome, man. It doesn't end. Like, you know, it's just every single game. It's every night. It's really special. 12
of the 14 teams in this league right now are between 4-2 and 2-4. They're within 2 games of each other. Yeah. And Texas is a great study here. They opened up 1-3. And then boom, boom, back-to-back great wins. They're right back in the mix, and that's how quickly things can turn in this league.
That's right, and you're never going to be out of it, and you're never going to have it locked up. Like, it just is. It's the nature of the league. You know, this Texas team, for example, was a preseason top 10 AP poll team. Their 5-man was injured. They had some new people on campus, and then so they struggled a little bit. And all they've done the last 2 games is knock off 2 top 25 teams in a row, one at home, one on the road, and now they're coming to the Marriott Center, and it's unbelievable. It's so great.
And they get 3 and 4. They get 4 consecutive ranked teams, because they'll have you on Saturday, then they'll be home to host Houston on Monday, and you're going for the split. And I think we talked about this off the air even, but if you're splitting weeks in the Big 12, you're a really good basketball team.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely.
So hopefully that's the case on Saturday. By the way, next week you'll have your first midweek bye. Texas Tech and Baylor didn't play the weekday game this week. You'll be in that situation next week. So everyone gets these midweeks off, and yours comes next week, right?
Yeah, and we're really excited about it. It's going to come well for us, especially if we can finish this week off with a win.
Because you want to get a little healthy, right? You want to rest some guys up and get them ready for this grueling stretch to come as February gets underway. By the way, what is the plan for you next week with just one game on the weekend? Do you already know what you want to do? Or?
Yeah, we'll go Monday early, twice on Monday. We'll go Tuesday. We'll be off Wednesday, and then start full prep Thursday, Friday.
You already talked about the Marriott Center crowd, but the value of home crowds in this league. I watched Kansas State, Iowa State last night. Names, what a venue, what an environment. And I mean, the crowds in this arena, we've only seen a few, but you already know what you're getting into.
Did anybody see highlights of Kansas State, Iowa State last night? I'm just curious how many people are seeing this. Yeah, some. There's a lot of controversy involved in the game. Anybody familiar with that? Okay, fair enough. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's stuff going on. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at what's gone on for BYU. You had a couple games since we last talked. Games this past Saturday and Tuesday. We're going to look into player highlights specifically too. But let's start with Saturday's game at Texas Tech. Highlights presented by Intermountain Health. We'll take a look at some stats too. And this was we want to go show Ali in this one. By the way, electric atmosphere at United Supermarkets Arena.
Yep.
And Ali Khalifa had his best scoring game in a BYU uniform yet.
Yeah, his second half was really remarkable. Him and Dallin kind of developed a really terrific connection out of ball screens, and Ollie was really effective in every aspect of the game. And you know, we put a lot on his shoulders down the stretch for sure, you know, trying to hold off their rally.
Now, due to an injury suffered by Noah Waterman, he was unavailable, and Richie Saunders got his 3rd career start, first of this season. Terrific first half. He had 13 before the break.
Yeah, Richie's been incredible. He's one of the most efficient offensive players in the country, and he's also one of the best rim finishers in the country. He's just been unbelievable. His numbers are incredible, and it was the first time he'd been thrust in the starting lineup since, I think, only one game last year. And he was ready. He found out 2 hours before the game, and he really got us off to a great start. And the guys played an incredible first half.
And these are the final stats from Texas Tech. They come back to win this one in Lubbock. You had an off day Sunday, busy work day Monday to get ready for Tuesday, and Houston, #1 metrics team in the country in so many different ways. Top defensive squad in the country nationally by a considerable margin, and they visited BYU Tuesday in a clash of the Cougars. And what a great comeback it was for BYU. Comes up just short. You trail by double digits on 2 occasions in the second half, rallied both times. Let's go to the final few minutes of the game. Maybe have you talk us through how this game wrapped up, because you were right there.
Yeah, the most frustrating thing for us down the stretch, they started switching 1 through 5 with about 5 minutes left in the first half, which is not typically what they do. And so we kind of found a groove. Foose made a huge difference in the last 10 minutes of the game. And then every time we get a clean, in the last 10 minutes, every time we get a clean rebound and get out in transition, we had great things happen. We just had such a tough time coming up with clean rebounds. We got a couple unbelievable looks down the stretch, and they just didn't go. And that's just the nature of the game. We have exactly the right guys taking shots, making plays, and it's just part of the deal. There's a lot of controversy. Maybe fans might have opinions about some of the things that went on in the game. Is that you're trying to bait me? Greg's trying to get me in trouble.
I'm saying nothing. I'm just.
And we just came a little short against a great team. And you know what? Here's the thing, guys. Houston did what they do to every team, which is unfortunate because they just destroyed us on the glass the last 7 minutes of the game, where we had so many opportunities. We actually got stops, and we had so many opportunities. We just couldn't come up with a rebound, and it's a place that we'll continue to grow in. They're probably in the top 3. I know the numbers put them in the top 10, but they're probably in the top 3 most effective offensive rebounding teams in the country, and they certainly did some work against us.
We're seeing some Noah Waterman highlights, and he had a great game against Houston, and just didn't play on the weekend, made up for lost time against UH. Really big part of what you were able to do against the Cougars from Houston. And Foose is making his way back still from his injury, and he played 10 of the 20 minutes after halftime on Tuesday.
He was great. I'm telling you, it's a little sub-story. To sit for 30 minutes in a game and watch and then be called upon unexpectedly and to be ready emotionally to come out and play, it's a huge tribute to Foose. He gave us a massive spark off the bench. It was really, really important. Of course, Noah had an unbelievable performance.
How would you say Foose is in terms of maybe percentage of what he'd like to be at right now? Is he getting close?
He's doing great. He missed a block-out assignment today in practice, so sometimes when that happens, you get sent on a journey to the very top of the Marriott Center and back, and he made it fine. So I think his hamstrings do it better.
that's one way to test it, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So Houston does win that game on Tuesday, and but you know what? 6 games. In every game, leads. You're competing with every team in this very tough conference.
That's going to be it every night. It's great.